Hello, and welcome back to another Minecraft Let's Play video with me, Elven Dragon, here on Squidcraft, Iliara's patron server. So last episode, we went and built up this gate here with the 4 glow squid, and we apparently have a very angry Enderman outside, who has apparently gone now, maybe? Or de-aggroed? Interesting. Anyway. Last time we built up this lovely archway here and the accompanying wall. And today I think we're going to get started on building up some of the farms that we're going to need to survive out here. And the first one that we're going to do, lava. We are going to need lava to build a stone generator as well as probably to fuel the furnaces. So we are going to use the technique where we have dripstone drip lava into a cauldron to get infinite lava. And then we are probably going to build up a stone generator so we can get some more moss to start terraforming this area. So I'm thinking that we are probably going to stick the lava factory up here. That. And I think we'll just do a simple 3, or what is this? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7? Yeah, 7 block wide circle, and we will increase the flat size here by 1. That block is in the wrong spot. Let me fix that real quick. And there. And we are extending out the flat sides here just to give the building a little bit more of a shape than a regular circle. Thought it might be nice and just look a little bit better than just a plain flat circle and make the entranceways a little bit more distinct. Now we will probably do something fancy with the floor than this, but I'm just using end bricks for now because I've got a bunch of them. So I'm going to start out with some smooth sandstone for the walls, just to mark out where they are. And we will probably add some other sandstones in later. Going to be super big inside, but we don't really need it to be, because even if we just do the space all in those corners, that's still 8 things of lava that we're getting. So I'm going to go get the rest of these walls up and get this ready to go for putting in the dripstone. And then I will be right back. Alright, so I've got everything here set up. Just need to put in the dripstone and the pointed dripstone. But we're going to hold off on the pointed dripstone for a little bit because we still need to put in the lava before this will actually work. And I don't know if it'll fill up with water if I put in the dripstone before I put in the lava. And what I'm thinking about doing for the roof is we're going to have purpur because this is the end. We might as well use our second most common resource, especially since we can just steal it from end cities. And I feel like this will be good. Should look okay with the light texture of the build. And once we get the terraforming in, it will stand out quite nicely. Now, I do need to put in glass so that we can get the lava in. Look at I left my silk touch pick out. So we can stick that there. And I'm just going to get the rest of the glass in here. That way we don't have to worry about it when it becomes time to fill the other sections. Once that one cauldron produces lava. And let's get our first pointed dripstone in. So that will just drip down to there. We'll get more lava. We can fill the rest of these. And that'll be good. Now, do need to get the rest of the roof in, which is basically going to be following the stairs here up to the center. And we're just going to keep using the solid blocks for the sides of the walls, which we won't get in right now because we can get that one in. Because this way, we will be able to access the lava pools for once that actually fills up. So I guess it's time for me to go get this in. And I suppose we can start setting up for the rest of our project. So while we wait for more lava to drip into the cauldrons, figured it might be a good idea for us to start terraforming this area a little bit. And what I'm thinking is we're going to have a pathway. I think we will just dig that out here a little bit. Let's see, shift that over. Don't quite know how this pathway is going to go. Oh, we can figure that out in a bit. So for now, we're just going to fill it in with a bit of dirt just to denote it as a path. So what we're eventually going to do is we are eventually going to transform most of this area here into moss and give this a nice green look, because as nice as the grass will look, it's going to be a little blue if I remember correctly. Now we're still going to need some of the grass anyway to grow trees, etc. I think the vast majority of the area is going to be moss. So to help differentiate these as paths, we're just going to turn these into grass paths. We're going to have to change those into something. And we are leaving these two holes here because once this is done, which let's check to see if there's any lava. Nope. Okay. I think what we're going to do is we're going to have water cascade down the sides. And we'll just have it go in past these two bushes. Nope, actually, I've changed my mind on this. This side is going to have a bit of a river. So let's mark that out a bit. We will have to figure out bridges and such later. Again, right now we're just getting a general shape. There we go. So water will flow down along there. And then on the other sides here, at least for now, we will do the bushes. And we will probably do bushes again on the other two sides. Now you may notice that we have 4 entrances here. We'll have a path coming off of each that will wander to little bits and pieces of the garden. And I think that that will turn out nicely for this. Now one other thing that I would like to get started out here is some bees. Because bees in the end will just keep working constantly because there's no day-night cycle and there's no rain. So we can have basically constant production of honey and wax, which will be nice if we find a build that we want to use a copper roof for. But in order to grow trees, we kind of need grass. So we will probably rip out the grass from here eventually and turn it to moss. So I don't think that this is going to be the final area for the tree growing. But at the very least, this should be a good start. Alright, to get our bees, we're going to be taking advantage that saplings next to flowers have a chance of spawning bee nests. And, oh, hey, look at that. Immediately we get one. And now we have a little bee out here in the end. So cute. I love them. 2 of them even. Alright, let's see if we can't get some more. Nope, just the 1 beehive. Okay, that is good. That actually took a lot less time than I thought it would. But we have another lava source in. And we are just waiting. And I've run out of moss to mess with. So I guess we work on terraforming this river here a bit. And what we're going to do for the riverbed here is a mixture of cobblestone and prismarine. Means we need to lower this all by another block. And just kind of mix this in. We'll have some stairs occasionally, just to add a bit of depth to the river itself. And yeah, I think that'll look pretty good once we actually have the water come down through there. And we just need to figure out how all these paths are going. That's going to be a fun one. Alright, I guess I'm going to do what we have marked out for the river here. And then I guess I will be back once we're ready to get a stone generator in. Alright, and just like that, the entire area here is full of lava. And we've got some in the cauldrons already, so let's go ahead and grab a bit of that, because we're going to need that to create the stone generator. And now we can go and make the waterfall for this area. Now we're going to start by just making ourselves an infinite water source here. That way we can start filling up the river. And there we go. We actually get an idea of what the river's going to look like. So we've got the prismarine here to block the flow where we don't want it because we don't need water going down the front of our building over the entryway. So if we waterlog that, it should all flow right into the spots that we marked out previously. And this one will flow right into the river. So now we can just fill up the riverbed to make that mostly water sources. And there we go. This will probably look a lot better once we actually get the rest of the moss and the trees and such in. But for now, this is looking pretty good, I think. At least given that we have a very limited amount of moss. So now that that's taken care of, we should be able to just remove all of the prismarine that we used to block the water up here. And there we go. And it doesn't flow down the center part. Now, I'm not happy with how the area over the top stair looks. But the rest of the roof looks pretty good with it as is. So I think it'll be okay. And that piece of water is only there to let the water flow down across the other parts of the roof where we do want it. So now that we have the infinite lava source done, we just need to figure out where we're putting our stone generator. And we do have a nice big open flat space here. We could build right here once we knock out some of this chorus fruit. So I think I'm going to go get a few pistons gathered up, and then I think we'll get that stone generator right over here. Alright, so I've got a basic structure here built up, and if I'm not mistaken, put that there, and there, that should be able to turn, or at least, yeah, that should work, right? Alright, so now we need to add the water, which, oops, that's not supposed to happen. At least I'm pretty sure it's not supposed to happen. Alright, so if I understand my Minecraft mechanics correctly, stone is formed when lava flows on top of water, so hopefully waterlogging those pistons will work. So once we get those all waterlogged and make sure that they aren't going to lose their water when we toggle this, we will then just have to add the lava, and hopefully it works. I don't really know. I've never built a stone generator before, and this will probably go horribly wrong. Alright, so we've got a lava source in the farm, so hopefully this should work. And we just need to toggle this, and hey, good, it works. Okay, now I just need to get a little bit more lava and we can have this fully functional. I believe I saw that I had another bucket. Oh, apparently we have 3 buckets, so we could probably make those all lava sources if we wanted to. But it doesn't look like we need to. And there we go. It looks like we have this fully functional. It's completely manual right now, which is fine, at least for now. Clearly need to get a block to automate this, but this should work. So now we need to add the next part, which I think if we put a moss block there, it should work. Let's see, bone meal that, and it covers everything that we have. So now we just need to figure out how far that will extend. It looks to be about 2 blocks away from the moss block. Have to do some more testing on that. But we can't have everything over the moss block, I believe. Yep. Can't go and meal there. That's going to be fun. And we are going to have to find a way to break the grass on top of that block, because otherwise it will stop growing more moss. Now the rest of the stuff will just break except for the moss carpets. And let's cover the lava before we fall into it. So we will have to occasionally break those. This seems to be functional. It looks like we're going to get a couple things of stone that aren't going to convert, which is fine. I can use stone. I think that this will be an okay manual little farm. I obviously still need to build something around this because we're not just going to have a random endstone machine out in the middle of, well, not really in the middle of nowhere. But I'm going to have to go work on how I want that built. So I'm going to go get that figured out. maybe I'll get a clock onto here so that we don't have to keep flipping the lever. And maybe I can figure out a way to automate the moss part. Alright, so I have finally gotten this stone generator working properly, and the moss part of it also works now. So there we go, that in there. If we flip this lever, see, it bone meals the moss, and every so often it will push this forward by a block. There we go. Very flashy. We still have to run up here to get all of the azaleas, but it does in fact produce moss. The only issue is all of this carpet, which we have to break by hand, but other than that, it works pretty well. It only goes halfway right now because I haven't set up the other mossificator, because if I do, it will push the moss carpets into it and it will break the system. And then I won't get any moss at all. So it's better for now to only have half the system in. Now, I really need a collection system for here. But I am going to collect up a bunch of stone because I have an idea for this building and it requires a good amount of stone. And also we need the moss for terraforming around here, which I have done a little bit more of. And as you can see, we have a bit of grass mixed in with our moss. And I think this looks pretty nice. We do have some end rods under some moss carpets already for some hidden lighting. I'm going to have to go and add a bit more of that. And I have the pathway here dug out, or at least a little bit farther up to the river. So we will have a bridge across here. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to lower this down a bit, and we are going to turn this into a small pond. Probably put a few fish in there, either that or some axolotls, one of the two. I am going to go and finish filling in some of the holes I dug earlier and terraforming this area, or at least getting it switched over to moss and grass, and gathering up more stone, because this stuff won't gather itself. Alright, so a little bit of work later, and we have a start on this building. I think it looks okay so far. There is going to be another floor, which is why we have the stairs right there. And I don't think it looks too bad. Inside, not much has changed, although I have gone and harvested a bunch of moss. And as you can see, have done quite a bit more work out here. Still need to do the pathways and all the bushes, but that can be done a bit later. And now, though, I think what we're going to do is put in a little bit of a round window in the middle of the second floor, depicting what this building is for. So we are just going to build off around here. See, do block above where we have the stairs. And we will just kind of build up a circular frame for the window. And now that we have most of the frame in, what we're going to do is going to build a small little pixel art of a moss generator. So we've got a little bit green, we've got some gray, then orange and blue to represent the lava and water. And I forget why I have white on here. I think it's supposed to be for the extra space, since the end stone is kind of a creamy colors and yellow doesn't really fit well, but it doesn't really matter what the exact reason was. And let's take a look at this. There we go. I'm pretty sure that'll look better when we don't have a white staticky background behind it, which that is entirely from the RTX pack, which if we turn that on, okay, that looks better, though we are getting, oh, that's some weird motion blur. I may have to do something with that. But this place is looking pretty good with this. As usual, we can't see inside the glow squid tank, but that's fine. I also have this little garden shed here, which houses our cheaty furnace, which apparently that place needs some light. But this area is looking pretty nice. I do like that red glow there, and I am quite happy with it. So I'm going to go finish up that building, and then we will be back. Alright, so the outside of the house is built, and I'm quite happy with how that looks. And inside we haven't really done anything except tear down the floor a bit to put one in. Now, since we can't really do stone because moss, what I think we're going to do is probably something with spruce and dark oak. I think we're going to have stripped logs. And let's see. Want to say pattern like that. What I think we're going to do is the dark oak logs facing into spruce planks. And you know what? Let's strip those. And maybe this would look a little bit better. Let's try spruce logs. That's really close. Oh, wow. That is almost identical in color. So we'll do the spruce logs stripped for the cross sections of the dark oak planks, or logs. And then we'll do spruce logs in the other holes. So if we get the doorway in there, I think what we're going to do is we're going to have spruce doors. And I think that looks pretty good. We still have to get the path all the way over there. But that is going to require me to do texturizing, and quite honestly, I don't really feel like doing that right now. But with that, I want to thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and consider subscribing, and I will catch you all in the next one. Goodbye!